Would you like to know how to hire the right person every time? I figured out the system. I've hired a lot of people and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. So we're going to talk about several things. We're going to talk about the application process. We're going to talk about how to find the right people and how to find leaders that you can rise up in your company. And I'm even going to share how you can hire all-stars and not have to break the bank to afford them. This first tip that I'm going to share, I'd say is extremely important, but it might take a little bit of thinking on it to get what I'm trying to say. So I want you to stop searching for an all-star, but instead create an all-star system. Okay, so the McDonald's example is the one that we always refer to, and I don't like McDonald's burgers. Okay, so just set that aside. Ray Kroc created a system. Okay, he created an all-star system that he could hire anybody to run. We typically say, yeah, he hires high school students to come and run that system. Now, if you were to create a hamburger restaurant, I know yours would be a lot more gourmet, but you don't have to hire the star chef. Maybe you do some consulting, getting that star chef to come in and give you some advice on what would be the best way to create the best food or the best burger or whatnot. But then you create a system of how you order the right supplies, the tools that you use, and then you create a checklist of steps and a how-to and training, so that then you could hire somebody else to come in and follow that step, follow those recipes. So really you can do this to most positions in your company. You can create a system and put a ton of effort and energy into refining it and making the system better and better and better, so that you don't have to worry about hiring the all-star, because finding and hiring the all-star is really, really hard. Now don't worry, I do have some all-stars on my team and I am going to share how I found them. Related to that, I want to make the recommendation that you don't set the bar too high. It's easier to do if you create, all-star systems like that. But let me give you an example. I've talked about when I've hired video editors. Okay, so I've got a certain standard of the way that I want my videos edited. So if my standard is at 100%, this is how I edit, this is how I want the videos to turn out. If I hire somebody and I expect them to get it to that exact same standard, it's going to be really hard to meet, especially right out the get-go. So my standards are 80%. If I can hire somebody, I can give them instructions, show them what we start with, what we'd like it to end up looking like, and let them go, and they can get it to 80%. That's actually pretty realistic to expect, and I know that I can help them learn and improve over time. Finding somebody that can get 100% right out of the gate, I just don't have that high of expectation. But when they can get it to 80%, I can then give them feedback and say, yeah, I would tweak this, try a transition like that, or try using this technique here. You can cut out this part there, and guess what? Now they're up to 90%, maybe 95%, and I can give them a little bit more feedback and get it up to 100. The more times they do it, the higher and higher they get, the closer and closer they get to my standards, until eventually they can do it at 100%. This next tip I'm going to share, everyone that I've told it to that's used it has loved it, and they don't ever look back. I remember I learned how to hire people in the Philippines from John Jonas. I explained to him what I did, and he said, wow, that sounds brilliant, I'm going to do it. And to this day now he continues to do it. So it's a video application. I use this whether I'm hiring people overseas or I'm hiring people locally here. I use a video application. Okay, so this is how I start that, what it looks like. I pull out my phone and I make a selfie video and I introduce myself to them. I let them know who I am. I let them know my role in the company and what I created the company to do, the services that we offer. And then I describe what I'm looking for in their position. This is what I'm hoping you can bring to the table. I'd love to see your portfolio. And I say, can you please make a video application back for me? It doesn't have to be produced or edited anyway. Just pull out your phone, talk to the camera, and send me a quick selfie video. That video application makes it so easy. I mean, imagine hiring people overseas where I don't get to sit down face to face with them. And admittedly, phone calls are so awkward, or Zoom or Skype calls are so awkward for interviews like that. I just don't have to do that because we do a video application, so it makes it easier. But I found it does a couple of things. It's a good filter. Some people aren't willing to take that step, and I'm glad that I didn't waste my time interviewing those people. So it filters those people out that aren't willing to do that. But those that do, I get to see their personality. I get to see their willingness to follow instructions, and I get to see how enthusiastic they are on camera and how interested they are in the position. And so it allows me to really narrow down candidates even further. Now, what I also love about hiring an independent contractor, after they've done this video application, I can hire them for a trial assignment. So whether they're overseas or whether they're local, like if it's a videographer that I've hired locally, I can hire them for a single day and I can gauge their performance. I can see how they interact with my clients, or if they're doing a video editing project, I can see their output and see if they did a good job. I can see, how long did it take? I do highly recommend that as well. After you do a video application, hire them for a trial assignment and see how they do. Remember to give them specific instructions, like give them a system to follow. If it's just a vague instruction saying, hey, I need you to go and do SEO on my website, and then you just turn them loose, like no matter how much SEO experience they have, they don't know if you want them to do article marketing or if you just want them to put keyword stuffing on your website or write articles. I mean, there's so many different things to do, and that applies to every different task that you're going to hire for. So even with your trial assignment, you need to create a system and have them jump into that system and see how well they are at running it. So after they do the trial assignment, I might give them a longer trial. Hey, I'm going to hire you for a week and see how this first week goes. And if they do well there, then I hire them, permanently long term. Now, something that I look for, and the other leaders that I have on my team, what we look for is their skill sets and other things, other qualities or other attributes that they have that might be a benefit to our company. So when I talked about in the beginning, like how do you find an all-star? Even by accident, if you hire in the way that I've described, some of the people that you hire will be all-stars. They might have more leadership ability, and so you'll see them rise up. You'll see, do they have initiative? Do they take charge when somebody else is sick or something? Do they volunteer and do they step in to pick up the slack? And I love it when this happens. Do they come to you with ideas? Like, have they been innovative in their mind and putting that innovation towards your company? When I've had my team members do that and share ideas, ways that we can improve, it's like so valuable to me because it shows that they care about my company. They care about the growth. They want us to succeed. They want us to take better care of our clients. And so those people have shown themselves as leaders and as all-stars. And so I've been able to get them promotions. One story to share, there were two individuals. I had one woman working as a video editor and another woman working as a thumbnail designer. And they were doing good work, but one of my team members made a suggestion based on some of the things that he noticed and said, I wonder if they would be better switching roles, if they would enjoy their work more. So we talked to them about it. They were open to the idea of trying it. We made that switch. We found that the woman that was doing video editing that now became a thumbnail designer, she had a real marketing mind and she could come up with thumbnail ideas, like what the text should say and how we should do the poses. She was originally a video editor. I've tried to hire all-star thumbnail designers before and it's never worked, but this way it did work. I first hired a video editor that turned into a thumbnail all-star. When you see these leaders rise up in your company, just give them promotions and give them additional responsibilities incrementally. Don't put too much on them at once, but see how they handle it. See how they enjoy it. You want them to enjoy their work if you're kind of changing their job description a bit. But I've got people on my team. One individual's been with me for 13 years. I've got a couple other individuals that have been with me for 9 years, and they've worked their way up in pay and in responsibility. And my team is so valuable. I've got all-stars on my team that I had no idea were all-stars when I first hired them. Now this next part is going to sound pretty crazy. You're not going to believe me, okay? When you hire people in the USA, we know what decent income is in the USA. But in other countries, like the Philippines, you can hire amazing all-stars, and what would be a blessing to them, starting out is typically about $400 a month. The exchange rate between the Filipino peso and the US dollar it fluctuates. So sometimes it's as high as $500 a month, but it's crazy to me to think about it, but you've got to look into this. In fact, you can go to virtualassistanttool.com. That's the website I use that I found all my team in the Philippines. If you go there, you'll be able to do a search and you'll find people and they'll tell you what their skill set is and what they're hoping to receive for that. Some people ask for $250 a month. Some people ask for $1,000 a month. When I'm looking for all-stars, I've tried to hire the people that are asking $1,000 a month or more. But in my experience, I found that those people don't have any more skills than the people that I can hire for $400 a month. And yet the people that are $400 a month are more coachable to my ideas. And those are the ones that have actually risen up and become my all-stars, and I've given pay raises. Now you know how to hire the right person every time, and if you're ready to look into hiring somebody overseas, go to virtualassistanttool.com.